Doing well. Welcome to Lab 3. In Lab 3, we are going to learn how to script websites. And there are two sections in this lab. So first, we are going to use a package called Beautiful Soup to collect reviews from Yelp.com. And the second part, we are going to use an application programming interface called Tweepy to collect tweets from Twitter. And let's start with our first section. We are going to use Beautiful Soup to scrape reviews from Yelp. Alright, so what is Beautiful Soup? So it is a library built for us to scrape information from websites. So what it does is, first off, it's going to parse the website, and then we can use some attributes and functions of this soup object to pull only the information we want from the website. Alright, so we are going to deal with HTML tags. If you are not familiar with HTML code, I will go through with you together. So you can see it looks like something like this. Alright, so let's just dive into the code first. So before you start, make sure you have installed the Beautiful Soup packages. So run this command, pep install Beautiful Soup 4. You can run it in a terminal. What I usually do is you can click on new and create a new terminal and just run the pep install here. You can do that. So after you have done install the package, make sure you import the packages first. I'm going to do that, and then we are going to specify the URL of the website we wish to crawl here. So there are actually two ways we could access the HTML. So we can, if you have a HTML file, let's say if you have a personal website and you have the source code, you can just use Context Manager. So with open up the files. And this time, because we are actually crawl from a commercial website, we are using the URL. So specify the URL here, and then it's going to access request, send a request to the website, and then this code is going to create a Beautiful Soup object. So if you run this run this code and actually print out the soup object, it's going to show you all the HTML code behind the website. And you can also run this soup.prettify, which is, if you print it out, it's actually gonna print the same HTML code, but it's gonna have indentation to it, so it's easier for us to see. You can run it yourself. I'm not gonna run it here. Okay. Alright, so did I run this? No. Let me just run this really quick. Okay, over here we have created a list called review. So we are going to store all the reviews here. So let's first go to this website to look at what the website looks like. Okay, so this is a website. This is a website we're going to crawl. So you can see it's a homepage for this milk cream cereal bar. And if you scroll down a little bit, you're gonna see the user reviews for this bar. And our mission here is to grab only the text portion of the reviews. So we want this, we also want this, we also want this, we want all this text reviews. Okay, so first off, we need to understand the structure of the website. So how do we access the HTML code? So I'm using a Google Chrome browser. So I just right click and click on inspect. It's going to bring up a window. You can see all the HTML code here. So if you move your mouse up and down, you can see the corresponding section on the website is going to be highlighted. So I want this text portion. So what I can do is just move your mouse here, right click and inspect. It's going to bring you to the section where the text is stored underneath. So I click on this arrow to expand it. You can actually see the tags are being stored over here, right? So it's a paragraph, and there's a span class, and all the tags are stored underneath this. So we have understand where the text is stored. We can do a second try. Right click and inspect. You can see it brings up, it's the same structure, so it brings up the span class, and we expand it, it's going to show the text. So if you look carefully, all the sections of the reviews from one user have the exact same structure. So which means we can access the tags of the reviews underneath this p tag. So for each section of the reviews, it's going to have a p tag, and it's going to have a span tag with class equals to this, and this text is going to store it underneath. So we can use a for loop to grab all the content in all the structures. Okay, so how do we specify? So you can see maybe they could have several p tags, right? So how would you specify the p tag? So you can specify it using the class. So the class is usually used in CSS for styling, and also used for JavaScript. So over here we're going to use it to specify the tag. Alright, so go back to our code. We are going to use the find all function, and we are going to look for p tag. Which p tag? So a p tag with a class equals to this. Alright, so you can see that this text information is underneath this p class, which is named this, right? So all these reviews have the same structure. Okay, so we specify that, and then we're going to look for the span tag underneath the p tag. That's where the text is stored. So underneath the span tag, and then we are only going to access the text. So we don't want the tag. We only need the words, the text. So we're going to use the text attribute, and I print it out here. You can see the reviews here. So there's a line at a store today. Make sure we script the right thing. So there was a line at store today. Yup, we have script the right thing. So we're going to append only the text into this list, and after that we can check how many reviews we have collected from this one single website. So we have collected 20 reviews. So in fact, there are 20 reviews. 20 users have reviewed this store on this this page only. Okay, and then we are going to store our all the text reviews into the review.txt. So I run this. You can see we have our review text. So we have stored each reviews from one user into this text file. Okay. See, it's not that hard, right? So I'm not sure if I have done a good job explaining this concept to you. So I find a really good video. If you want to check it out, I posted on Blackboard. So this video, definitely check it out. So he did a really good job explain how would you break down the HTML tag, how would you find the elements, and also he used a slightly different way than mine. So you can, if you're interested, definitely check out. So there are millions of ways you can accomplish the same task. Feel free to try it yourself. Alright, so let's step in the second part of the lab, which we are going to use API Tweepy to collect tweets from Twitter. Before we jump into the coding part, first off, you're gonna need to actually create a Twitter developer account. Alright, and I thought about going through the same process, but I found a better video online for you to watch. So definitely, so first off, follow this video. So this video is about 5 minutes, and the second part is also 5 minutes. So just total of 10 minutes to get the account set up. So you follow this to create your Twitter developer account. And it's probably gonna ask you for a website. You can put in our school website. Okay, so you can just use this. It doesn't really matter. Okay, where am I? Okay, Blackboard. And after you have created the Twitter developer account, go to step 2. Follow this video. It's going to show you how to create a first app and then generate key pairs for you to access Twitter. Alright, so definitely follow those 2 videos to make sure you obtained the key pairs in order to access the Twitter. Alright, so after you have saved the consumer key, consumer secret token, access token, obtain those 4 keys, and then you gonna install the Tweepy module. After you have done that, we can run the code. So import the packages. So that's this section in which you are going to fill in your key. So those are my keys. I mean, if 2 or 3 of you use the key, probably we don't have a problem. But if 100 of you all use my keys, we're probably gonna have a problem. So definitely create your own. So I have put in the syntax over here, so make sure you put the right key in the right place, otherwise you won't able to access Twitter. So it's going to establish connection with Twitter, and then I just try to make this code as simple as possible. So right here I only have one function. So I'm going to explain this function line by line. Make sure you understand. So the function is called search term. What we're going to do is think of a word you want to search. So the word I have is apple. So I want to collect all the tweets that have the word apple in it. So there are 3 parameters in this function. The first parameter is we are going to store the tweets in a file. So the first, it just give your file a name. So it's the name of the file you want the results to be stored, and the second is the term. So in my case, my term is apple, and the third is the number of tweets you want to collect. All right. So the first section of the function, we basically just open up the file and write into the results, and we created 4 columns. So screen name is the username and number of followers, and location and the tweet itself. So the try except, you just avoid your program to crash. So it's going to run this chunk of code first. If something happens, some errors, it's going to print out this error message. So instead of crashing your program. So first off, we are going to use the API to search for the term and make sure it's English. And we're only going to collect this number of tweets. And then it's going to store the access, use the attributes, use the user and the screen name attribute. Is going to store user the screen name, followers account and location, and the tweets inside the file we're going to create. After it have done the process, it's gonna print out this note to tell what the program have done. Alright, so we run this, and here we call the function here. So you search term, type in the file name as a string and the term as a string and a number. So if you run this, it's going to generate, it's going to search a total of 150 tweets that are related to the keyword apple and store it in this CSV file. So we go back here, we can see the CSV file has been generated, and we can actually open it up here to see what was inside. So we access 4 attributes, which is the username, the number of followers they have, and the location, and the tweet itself. Alright, so doesn't look that hard, right? As always, if you want to learn something, learn more, there are millions of things online that you could search. So definitely search for some materials if you need more detailed explanations. Alright, thank you.